I mean, yeah, sure. I mean,
Sure.
well, I will just answer the question on your title since that's what it is. But I mean, I think we just haven't had any good candidates that could be president when it comes to women. Like, I mean, Kamala, for example, she didn't even win the primary. So, like, she was kind of just selected. So I don't think she was a good pick for that and some other reasons. But mainly, my main issue was just when you were talking about Trump and his rape case or whatever, you
Yep.
do realize the amount of evidence needed for for a civil case like that. They just have to be 50% believability. So there's a reason why it wasn't criminal.
It was higher than 50%, meaning more likely than not. No, the reason why it wasn't criminal was because of statutes of limitations. That's why.
I mean, there also wasn't enough evidence to begin with.
No,
Like the
there was
whole,
enough evidence. Yes.
I mean,
Keep in mind if it was in a criminal court, he would have had to give his DNA, meaning that instead of in the civil court where he didn't present his DNA, he would have had to give his DNA in a criminal court, which would have he would have been found criminally liable, if it were his DNA. But yeah, there was a lot of evidence in the case.
I
What
mean,
evidence
since
in the
that
case do
didn't
you dispute?
happen,
So in order for it to be a criminal case, it has to be beyond a reasonable doubt. So what is the reasonable doubt that you believe that E. Jean Carroll was not raped by Donald Trump? What is a reasonable doubt?
I mean, maybe the fact that it came out so much longer, like
It's not reasonable.
after. I mean, well, you're bringing up an argument when the whole point is it's innocent until proven guilty. They're the ones that are supposed to.
He was found guilty.
Civilly. What part of civilly guilty does that not? Like, bruh. Like they
He
just
was
have
found
to.
guilty. Okay, so then
Yes.
you believe it's 34 count felonies, right?
You mean the 34 misdemeanors that have never been brought to court before until then? I mean, yeah.
There it is. There's the hypocrisy.
The
But you believe him, right?
hypocrisy,
He's a
bro.
felon. He's
I
a
mean,
34 count
yeah, I
felon.
would be fine with him being charged with 34 misdemeanors if they did it to
No
every other
felonies.
person doing it. I mean, yeah,
Felonies.
there's a reason it was raised to felonies. It's
Yeah,
called
the reason
lawful.
is because it was he committed the falsification of business records to hide or conceal another crime, which bumps it up to a class E felony. If he simply falsified business records, it would have been 34 misdemeanors. But because he tried to conceal another crime, it was a class E felony. I don't think you know what you're talking about. But back
I
to the Eugene
mean,
Carroll case.
sure.
Whatever you said, the
Yeah,
reason why
okay.
the reasonable doubt that you don't believe Eugene Carroll is because she took too long to come out. The
I mean,
reason
that's
is
one
because
of the
she waited.
reasons.
She
I
waited.
mean,
Yeah, that one reason that you brought up will address. She waited until her parents passed away, then proceeded to write a book to come out. A and B. Most victims don't even come out. Are you saying the victims who don't come out, they didn't get raped? Is that what you're claiming?
I'm not saying, but it's highly unlikely if they're not going to do it
So
immediately
you're saying
after.
millions of people that never come out, literally they take that to their grave. You're saying they never got raped?
Interesting assumption. I said mainly, so I don't think it's clear as yes they didn't, no they didn't. I mean, it depends on the individual case and everything going on. I mean, I
Okay,
think
so
it would
then
have
that
been
can't be a reason for this case then.
he's been in a position of power for like as long as I've been alive. Like I think people would have been trying to take him down if they had credible evidence besides a civil case where they only have to prove a certain amount of believability. Like especially when all these came
Preponderance of
out during.
evidence. Do you want to do mass deportations?
I mean, yeah, I do support mass deportations for people who came here illegally.
What the fuck? Why? Those are done in a civil court, and we can't trust civil courts because it's only
It's
50% or more. Why the fuck we can't do mass deportations because it's a 50% chance or more that they're here undocumented? What the fuck? We don't trust
bro.
civil
What do
courts,
you?
man. Chris, we don't trust civil courts. What are we doing? Me and
It's
you
not that
don't
we.
trust civil courts.
It's
Just as Donald
okay.
Trump didn't rape
Yeah.
E. Jean Carroll, no one is here
You're gonna let me
undocumented
talk, or
because
you
we
just
don't
gonna
know for
keep
100%
rambling?
certainty.
You're gonna let me talk, or you keep rambling?
I mean, that's your logic, buddy.
It's not my logic. How is a
Then
deportation
address the
criminally?
contradiction.
If they're here illegally with no documents to prove that they've been here legally, or if they overstayed their
Innocent
visa,
until
then
proven
yes, they
guilty,
should
no?
be deported.
Innocent until
Innocent.
proven guilty.
The guilt is them not
Guilty
having
in a
any
civil court,
records
by the
or
way.
documents.
It typically happens in a civil court, meaning that when you dispute, when you think the reasonable evidence for Donald Trump that he didn't rape Jean Carroll is the fact that it happened in a civil court and you only need 50% or more, that's also going to be a reasonable dispute for undocumented immigrants in their civil court, meaning we
I
should not
mean,
deport them
yeah,
because we are not 100% certain.
a
Meaning
case where they
you are not pro mass deportation, correct?
that is not what it means. I
Then
mean,
address the contradiction, buddy.
I'm pretty sure being here legally is easier to prove than saying someone got raped and
But
trying to
it's still
prove
in a
that.
civil court. It's still in a civil
It
court, though.
doesn't matter. It all depends on
Now
the
it doesn't
individual
matter in the
case.
court.
What are
Now
you
it doesn't
talking
matter
about? I
in the
said
court.
every single thing depends on the individual case. I never
Okay, so
said.
what about this individual case? What about this individual case? Is the reasonable belief that Donald Trump didn't rape her? Or
I
the
mean, yeah,
reasonable doubt? What's the
I
reasonable
personally
doubt?
don't believe it. I mean,
Okay, but what is the reasonable doubt?
the reasonable doubt, the fact that there's not enough evidence to do it criminally. I mean, he could have submitted his DNA,
Okay,
and I
there's
don't
not
think they
enough
would be
evidence
found
to do it
criminally.
criminally for undocumented immigrants.
Are you
That's why
sure
they're
about
done in
that?
civil
I'm
courts.
pretty sure that's not true, considering the fact they have
Well,
no
I'm pretty sure it's not.
documents. So
And it's not true
legally,
that there was no evidence for Donald Trump to make it do criminally
holy straw man,
criminal.
bro. Is that really all you're gonna try and use? That's literally, they're not even similar
It's a
cases at
contradiction. It's
all.
not a straw. Can you define a straw man?
Bro, you using a single argument to try and
And this
disprove
single
another
argument
point.
is absolutely deconstructing your whole worldview. You're saying that there was
Not
not
just, it's
another.
not deconstructing the
There's not.
argument.
There's
They're
not
not
evidence.
similar.
There's not
They're
enough
not
evidence for
similar
him
at
to
all.
be
Someone
found
being
criminal
here
liable.
illegal is pretty easy to prove compared to rape. So I don't know what you're talking
But
about.
it's still in a civil court.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. Like it literally does
Okay.
not matter. It's a different
Let me
type
address
of
what you
case.
said. Let me
It's a
address what you
different
said. The
type of
reason why
case.
the reason why it was not a criminal case is because of statutes of limitations. Okay, that's it. That's all there is. It was because of statutes of limitations. So that is not reasonable belief. So what is the reasonable doubt that he did not rape her? What is the reasonable doubt?
The fact,
Can't be
bro,
because it wasn't a
you-
criminal case because it literally could not have been due to
because
statute
there
of
was not
limitations.
enough evidence, dude. Like, what part of that do you not?
There was
understand?
evidence. He
You
was
keep-
found.
you keep-
He
you
was
can try
found
and use a
guilty in
different
a civil
argument.
court. Hold on. If there was not enough evidence, the jury would have said that he was found not guilty, buddy.
If the
There
evidence
was
needed
evidence.
is only to have 50% or more believability, then yeah, it's not much evidence at all. Like that's literally not much evidence.
But you're saying that it was only 50%. I think it was with beyond a reasonable doubt.
Beyond a reasonable doubt. Yeah, no, that they just have to be. They just have to convince the judge or the jurors that could
You're saying that's the minimum. I'm saying they did not just prove the minimum. I'm saying they proved beyond a reasonable doubt. And if they could have
Go ahead
pursued
and show
criminal
what their
charges,
evidence then. Go ahead, explain it.
yeah, the evidence was witness testimony, therapy notes, as well as Access Hollywood tapes, where Donald Trump said that he grabs women by the pussy without asking. That's rape. As well as they had
So none of
DNA
that
on a
really
dress.
applies
They had
here.
unidentified male DNA on a dress, and Donald Trump was given 3 years to give his DNA when he refused. Right? Let me give you an analogy. I mean, if you're drunk driving, and then like you're asked to take a breathalyzer and you deny, it is most likely the case that you are probably drunk. Someone who is not drunk, you would probably do the breathalyzer, or else you would get detained, and then they would take you to the hospital, and then they would ask for your consent to draw blood in order to do it that way. But then even then, I think you still deny that. But the point is, you would be held accountable in that aspect. So that's an analogy for you. The point is, he refused to give his DNA. Why would a innocent man not give his DNA to prove his innocence? You do realize if he were to have given his DNA, he would have been found not guilty if it didn't match. You do realize that, right?
I mean, I feel like he should have, but I mean, that's not our.
Why didn't he?
I mean, I can't speak for him. I'm not him.
Because he's
I mean,
guilty.
You can say that all you want. I mean,
And the civil court proved it.
Civil court, yeah, civil court doesn't mean anything if they literally they only need a certain amount of
Okay,
credibility.
and that's not in a specific case. What you just said, a civil court does not mean anything because they only need a specific amount of evidence. So a civil court does not mean anything when it comes to undocumented immigrants.
It depends. I mean, I don't really know.
Now it depends.
Well,
You didn't
no, my
clarify
answer-
that
no,
before.
it doesn't.
You
It
didn't
doesn't
clarify that
matter.
before. Why does it depend? Why does it now depend? Why are you
letting me
changing
talk,
your
bro?
mind?
Holy hell, bro.
Holy hell! Why are you supporting a rapist?
A rapist, all right. Civilly liable versus criminally is definitely different. I mean, you
What
guys.
about him
the fact
sexualizing
that
a 10-year-old
The fact
girl?
you even have a 10. Okay, you want to be honest? He was a womanizer back then, and of course he made a stupid joke. Like, of course he's gonna
Have
make.
you
a
ever made a
dumbass
joke about sexualizing a 10-year-old girl?
No, but I'm also not a
Is
womanizer.
it okay to make?
so
Is
it's not the same.
it okay to make jokes about sexualizing 10-year-old
I mean,
girls?
it should be morally frowned upon. I agree, but it doesn't mean he did anything.
Would you ever
about it.
support a candidate that sexualized a 10-year-old girl?
I mean, it's different. I mean, I don't think
Yes or
I
no?
don't agree with everything. I'm not
Yes or
gonna
no?
say I
Would you
defend
ever
everything
support a
he
candidate that
does.
sexualized
Not
a
a yes or
10-year-old
no
girl?
question. It's really not. You're trying to use a yes or no question just to try and gain leverage.
Literally
I mean,
is. If you say yes and no, that would be contradictory. The question is, would you or would you not support a candidate who sexualizes a 10-year-old girl?
I mean, no, but at the same
So then
time,
don't support Trump.
I mean, I don't support everything he does. I mean, that's just
No,
a
but
normal,
what I mean by
a normal
support-
person does not support everything they do.
What I mean by
I mean, if I
support,
think, I mean, what?
what I mean by support is saying that you would go back in time and vote for Harris or vote third party or not vote.
I mean, none of the other candidates were better. That's my opinion.
Harris
I
was
mean,
better.
I'll still stand by that opinion.
Harris
Yeah,
was
I'll
better.
still stand by that Trump was the better option. I mean,
Yeah, why?
that's,
Why was he the better option?
I mean, he's a businessman. He's not a career politician.
Six failed bankruptcies. You're saying he's not a career
Okay,
politician.
let me ask you this:
Hold
six
on,
failed
hold on,
bankruptcies.
hold on,
How many
hold on.
good business? How many businesses, successful businesses, has he had compared to those bankruptcies?
You said he's not a career politician.
He's not.
You do realize the job is being a politician.
And what have
You're
career
saying,
politicians gotten us?
hold on,
Dude, they're
hold on,
corrupt,
hold
they
on, hold on,
trade-
hold on.
they
You're saying,
insider trading,
you're saying
they have
he's
tons of
good.
public
You're
scandals.
saying he's good for the job of being a politician because he's not a politician when the
I'm saying
job
he's
is
not a-
being a politician.
I mean, to be honest,
What?
we had career.
Why would you elect someone who's not a politician when the job is about being a politician? That's stupid.
Okay, that's your opinion. I mean, what have these, the past presidents, these career politicians done for you? You see it at the local level, you
Yeah,
see it at the
Biden.
state level, you
Biden
see
did
it
a
at the
lot.
federal.
Biden
I mean,
did
these
amazing.
people. Okay, yeah, no, he really didn't.
How
But
about,
I
how
mean,
about we
that's your
go? How about we go
personal opinion.
policy for policy? I name you one Biden policy. You name me one Trump policy. Yes.
I mean, I can't name them
See
off the
who
top
wins
of my
out
head
first.
because I don't have a computer in front of me. But I
You don't have.
mean,
You want me to put a blanket over my head? I can. I won't look at any computer.
you're funny. You're
Do you
funny.
want? I can
I
put a
mean, you
blanket
can.
over my head.
I mean, literally. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead then. Sure, go ahead.
And you know what? You know what? You have like 15 seconds to look up policies. Look up as many as you want in 15 seconds. Okay, I'll give you 15 seconds. I'll put this
This
over my
dude.
head and then we'll go policy for policy. Go ahead, take it away. You have 15 seconds to look up Trump policies that are beneficial for the average American. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, come back in the app. I'm gonna have the blanket over my head. I'll start first.
Oh, could you
All
not
right,
hear me? Could you not hear me?
I cannot hear you because when you're out of the app, I cannot hear you. You have to see me for me to hear you. One policy of Biden's is going to be the Chips and Science Act. This policy brought manufacturing into America. According to Fred, we saw a boom in private investment into American manufacturing, and this job also created 115,000 jobs in chips and 15,000 jobs in construction, and this greatly benefited the private investment into American manufacturing. What is your policy?
I would just say no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. I mean, sure, you go ahead now.
Okay. I'm gonna dispute that because that was part of the One Big Beautiful Bill. So if you want to say the One Big Beautiful Bill, you can change it. We can
Yeah,
talk about
sure.
this
The big
after.
beautiful
Sure.
bill. Sure.
Sure. The second policy is gonna be the Inflation Reduction Act. This policy was actually deficit reducing, and that's obviously good. We want to reduce the deficit as much as we can. The Reduction Act was in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, which helped stimulate the economy as well, and it reduced the deficit. Your turn.
I would just say his stance when it comes to immigration policies about being more strict about it, not having allowing just indefinite asylum status seekers coming in here through the southern border or
What
northern
policy?
border. I mean, it's a part of his policy. I mean,
Yeah,
it's not like
what's the name of the policy?
okay,
The
I'll
the
look it
one
up
big
right.
beautiful bill.
Just wait here. I'll look it up right now.
I'm not gonna wait with a blanket over my head. It's hot.
Okay, well
I'll
then you
wait.
don't have to. Like I'm just
Yeah, no,
saying.
I'll wait. You can look at the policy. If you can find me an immigration policy of Trump's, I will. I want to hear it. What is one immigration policy? Someone said, "Hey Joseph, you might not be with you're successful with your life." Yeah, maybe I'm not successful with my life. Possibly that might be a possibility, Joseph. And then I'd like to talk about the one big beautiful bill as soon as you're back, and then we can talk about the
Anyways, yeah, I
immigration.
can't find the exact name, but I do. I live in a southern state, so I mean, I did see the
I live in a
difference.
southern
Like,
state too. I live in Arizona, man. The point is, he does not have a single immigration policy. We can talk about that in a second. You made the claim you support the one big beautiful bill. The one big beautiful bill is overall harmful. I support no tax on tips,
explain
no
it
tax
then.
on overtime, but no tax on tips, no tax on overtime were introduced by a Democrat and a Republican. Meaning, if Harris was president, this would have been passed either way. Okay. I support some policies of the big beautiful one big beautiful bill, but overall, according to the CBPP, according to the Congressional Budget Office, thank you so much. According to the Congressional Budget Office, it cuts $1 trillion off Medicaid by implementing unprecedented work requirements on Medicaid. And there's
Yeah,
already
making sure
50,000
people aren't
people.
unemployed.
Yeah, but the point is, 50,000 people already die every year because of the lack of access to healthcare. This would lead to more people dying. The
Do
thing
you know
about
how much money we spend on
you want
social services and
you
healthcare in
want
our country?
unemployed people to die. I don't.
No, I'd rather them get a job so they can still afford, still
Okay,
get apply,
let me
still.
ask you a question. If someone is able to work but they don't work because they choose not to, should they die?
I mean, I don't think they should die. I definitely don't think
Perfect.
they should be getting paid by
But
taxpayers so they can
preventative
get
health
medical
care.
help.
But
Yeah, I don't think
preventative
so.
health
That's
care.
not
Yeah.
fair. It's not fair to anybody.
But you said they shouldn't die. Preventative health care prevents them from dying.
I mean, at that point, they're choosing to die. Because if like that,
But you
they're
just
the
said we
ones
shouldn't let
choosing.
them die.
Okay, well then I'll change my answer. Then yeah, they should die. They're not. They're literally doing nothing. They're not taking any proactive action. They're taking advantage of the help from government just so that they can get Medicare when they are fully able to work. It's different if they're maybe disabled by some chance, but then they would still probably be eligible for those said new requirements. Like it's specifically for able-bodied people who cannot, who basically choose not to work and still get all the reap all the benefits from taxpayers when they
So
like we see this a lot
just
in
to
the
clarify,
U.S.
you think someone who doesn't work, because even though they can, you think they should die?
I mean, if you want to bring it up an extreme like that, then I mean,
It's not
yeah,
an
sure,
extreme.
they should. It
50,
is an
it's not
extreme.
an 50,000 people die every year because of the lack of access to preventative healthcare.
And how many people died of
50,000
car
people die.
crashes? Should we just like what your whole like your
How many people
statistic
die of
doesn't
car
matter?
crashes?
It
Many
doesn't
people die
matter.
in car crashes, but this is not analogous because we have restrictions on car crashes, i.e., seatbelts, i.e.,
Yeah,
red lights, green
the
lights, i.e.,
highest leading
stoplights, i.e.,
cause of
yield,
death in the
i.e.,
U.S.
yield,
still, though.
i.e., yield signs, i.e., roads with
I mean, it's a simple
lines on
fix.
them.
It's not like no one's telling them to die. It's not like they're not going to die right
But
away
you
from
would
having
let them
their.
die.
They would not
You
die
just
right
said
away
they should die.
because you asked a super extreme
It's not extreme that
hypothetical.
happens. Hold on. Are you saying that
It
it's extreme that
happens.
50,000
Okay.
people die? 50,000 people die. That could have
Did
been
50,000
prevented.
people die simply because of that new requirement? I mean, if they're
No,
able to
no, but
work,
that's
I
without
don't think that
that's
they'd
the
be
thing.
able to
That's the
die.
thing. That's without the requirement. 50,000 people die because they can't access healthcare without the requirement. Without it. Imagine with the requirement. Imagine how many more people are going to die.
Yeah, it just
Then
means
it's
the
not going to be
people
as
who
extreme.
don't deserve it won't get it, and the people who do deserve it will. Like it just cuts out the amount of people who are
So do you think
basically
do
committing
you think
fraud.
anything that's funded by taxpayer dollars they should have work requirements?
I think if they are able to work, they definitely should work, and that if they
Yeah, but
don't
should
work,
there
that
be
they
work
shouldn't be.
requirements for anything
Yeah, there
that's taxpayer
definitely
funded?
should. There definitely
Okay,
should.
so then you support work requirements on calling 911 and using roads, yes?
I didn't realize that's the same because it's not.
911 is funded by the taxpayers, and so are roads. Roads are funded by taxpayers. So someone who does not work,
What do you think the police is?
someone who does not work, yes, the police is funded by taxpayers. Someone
But
who
what
does
is the
not work,
police's job?
but someone who does
What's the
not work,
police's job?
but they can. You think that they should not be able to access 911 when they're getting their house robbed?
It's
Yes.
not even it's not similar at all. It's literally not.
Both of them are funded by taxpayer dollars.
Yeah, the
and
only
in both
difference
scenarios
is
they
that
don't work.
police do not have an obligation to simply deny you simply because you don't have enough money. That's never been an obligation for a police officer. So the simple comparison between that
but
and
we want to
Medicare
incentivize them to
requirements
work.
aren't even the
You
same.
said we hold on. There have never been work requirements on Medicaid. This is unprecedented. So that means that you don't support it.
Unprecedented but needed. So I
Okay,
don't know
it's
why.
needed for the police force too. It's needed.
Why would it be needed? There's zero. There's
Why
been
would
zero
it be
point
needed for Medicaid?
to cut down on the amount of people who are literally leeching off the government. I don't know how hard that is
So
for you to
we need
understand.
we
And
need
it's
to put
not
work
the same for
requirements.
police.
We
It
need
is
to put
not
work
the same.
requirements.
And
Hold on.
you saying
We need
that
to
is
put work
bad
requirements
faith.
on roads and 911 because we need to stop people from leeching off the government since it's taxpayers.
That literally
It's
makes
funded by
no
the
sense,
taxpayers.
dude. And you're only using that to try and justify your argument when it comes to the Medicaid
Well,
stuff.
hold on. What's
Like,
the
it
what's
doesn't
the
make
what's the
sense.
difference? They're both funded by taxpayers, and they're in both scenarios the individual does not work even though they can. What is the difference? And both of them save lives. Both of them save lives, by the way. Healthcare
in
saves
different
lives,
ways.
and
So
so does the
their
911.
job is to stop crime, not to basically just answer people who have money that pay them. It's not even about that. Like when it comes to Medicaid and insurance or medical bills in general, you literally can, like, at some cases you can't even get treatment if you don't have the amount of money.
That's not what makes it disanalogous. My analogy is still analogous. There is no contradiction.
It's not a
within it.
good analogy. That's all there
It
is to
is.
it.
The reason
It's
why
really
you
not.
think it's not a good analogy and the reason why you're not responding to it is because it
I am
dismantles your
responding
whole
to it.
worldview.
What do you it doesn't do. Okay,
There's
so
because there's a contradiction.
let me
You
ask
don't
this.
support
Do you
work
think people
requirements.
have a right to
You
be protected by the government?
yes.
All right, then yeah. So do you
That's in
think
accordance with the
everyone-
Constitution, right? Liberty
Yeah,
in pursuit of
okay.
happiness.
Exactly.
Right? Liberty in pursuit of happiness.
Yeah, the government has an obligation to protect you.
someone, yes, and exactly. Someone cannot have pursuit of happiness or liberty if they're dead. How do we keep people alive? How do we prevent deaths? By giving them preventative health care. You donut. You just proved me right for the
Bruh,
third
You're
time.
Gordon Ramsay. It did not prove you right at all. That's just your own opinion about it because they're
Then
not.
prove it
seeing
wrong.
real.
It's not my opinion. It's the Constitution.
I literally
Does the
am
Constitution?
trying to.
Hold on,
You just
hold on,
keep trying to
hold on.
bring it back in a
Does
circle.
the Constitution say life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness?
Yeah, it does not say
Can
anything
someone?
about free
Okay, you said
healthcare.
yes. Can
It's
someone
literally-
be? Can someone be happy if they're dead?
Bruh. Yeah,
Yes or
that's a
no?
good question. Obviously not because they're
Okay.
dead.
Do 50,000 people die every year because of the lack of access to preventative healthcare? Yes or no?
I mean, yeah, that's just no
Cool.
humanity is
So
not equal.
50,000 people die that could have been prevented. In accordance with the government in its own constitution, they should have prevented those 50,000 people from dying.
And
How do
each
they
have their
prevent
own
it? By
variables for
giving
why
them
they
access to
died.
healthcare, preventative healthcare.
Yeah,
So you
more
just proved
reasons
me
why.
right.
I didn't, dude. You can't keep, bro. You can keep trying to say that. It doesn't make you right. You can keep
I
trying
mean,
to
I know
bring
I'm
this
right, buddy.
argument. Yeah, I'm sure you do. I'm sure you think you're right. It's fine. You
You
can
just
think whatever you
hold on. You
want
just admitted that it's the government's jobs to make to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness.
to protect you.
Yes, no,
Yes,
life, liberty, and
protecting
pursuit of happiness.
citizens to
And then
stop crime.
you also said that those 50,000 people's could have been prevented. Those deaths could have been prevented. And then you acknowledge that you cannot be happy if you're dead, or you cannot have liberty if you are dead. Meaning that it's the government's job to prevent those deaths,
Yeah,
i.e.,
that's
giving
what the
them access
police
to
are
preventative
for.
health care.
That's what the police are for, not the.
Preventative health care.
Nowhere in the Constitution does it say anything about healthcare.
But it
So
says
like,
life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness,
like,
buddy.
yeah, that's super vague, and you can try and twist it. I could probably try and twist it into some type of way too.
Yeah,
It
try
does
and twist
not
it. Go
limit.
ahead. Try.
Bruh, that's like
Try.
saying that, yeah, we need the government needs to take care of it. That's like saying the government
the
needs to take
government.
care of everybody no matter
Yes.
what, and that they don't have to work or anything because they deserve that. They deserve happiness and liberty and
Yes.
freedom.
The bare minimum, yes.
But
The
that's
bare
not
minimum, yes.
the bare minimum.
Yes.
The thing is, nothing in this world is free. There would just mean higher
Never made it
taxes,
free.
and we would be longer
But
wait
that what
times.
you just tried to like fumble, and you just tried to make me
Fumble?
fumble. You just tried
No
to make
one's
me
trying to
fumble,
make you
and
fumble.
then
I'm just pointing out you're
hold on,
trying
hold
to
on, hold
use
on.
a
You just made the
a
claim that
big
it's like
part of the
saying the government. It's
Constitution.
like saying the government needs to like protect everyone, and like the government needs to like prevent all deaths and everything. Yes, that is the truth.
It's not
They need to provide
realistic.
their citizens. But they need to provide their citizens with the bare minimum to have life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness in accordance with the Constitution. That's why there's federal programs such as Medicaid, food stamps,
Yeah, for
SNAP
people
benefits,
who
right?
are in situations where they cannot work for themselves, or if when they can, they still are unable to afford it. Not people who just don't work and then just use those services. It's not similar at all. Like, you're trying to justify people leeching off the government by using a vague part of the Constitution, when in reality, like, it is not at all what is applied to
You're
it.
trying to
I mean,
justify
then you
leeching
also
off the.
use,
You're trying to justify leeching off the government when they're using
when it
911
comes
and
to
we're
police,
using the
yeah, no
words.
shit, bro, because that's obvious.
Okay, so they're,
That
oh,
compared
it's
to
obvious when
healthcare
it
is
comes to the
not the
police.
same.
Hold
When,
on. What is the difference between police and healthcare to where one they can leech off the police, but they can't leech off of healthcare?
the police, bro, because the police are trying to stop crime. They're trying to protect citizens.
They're
It's
trying to
not
save lives.
Yeah, you can try and bring up the
Healthcare saves
50,000.
lives, you donut.
Yeah, no
Oh
shit.
my
It's not like we
god.
had no healthcare.
Oh
There's
my
even ER if you
god,
cannot
brother.
afford it.
Healthcare
And
saves
you can get
lives.
into medical debt and then just
If you're saying
live.
the reason why it's okay to leech off of the police force is because they save lives, then it is okay to leech off Medicaid and healthcare because they save lives. Preventative
They
healthcare
can.
saves
Yeah, they
thousands of
can save
lives.
lives. They can save lives, indeed. But the comparison between,
Healthcare is meant to save
bro, you're really,
lives.
dude,
The
holy
police
hell,
force is
bro.
not meant to save lives in specific.
Oh,
They're meant
really?
to
What is the
protect
police
people.
force meant to do? What is it meant to do
Protect
then?
people, not save. Right?
What
Example:
is
if you're getting
okay? What happens when they protect people from criminals?
what happens when they protect
Even
people? I
violent
mean,
criminals. Do they
violent
save
criminals,
lives?
it's
Yes
not
or
just
no?
violent criminals.
I mean, yeah, no, duh. That's why I included
Precisely.
it. That's why I included it. So, do they save lives?
Do they? Yeah, I never denied that they don't. They do save
I
lives.
mean, well,
So does
it's
healthcare.
like
So both of them.
protecting
Both of them.
people
People should be
includes.
leeching off both because they both save lives.
Holy bro! Oh
What's
my
your counter
god! It's like
argument?
we would have a police force no matter what. I mean, that's what our taxes go for. And even for people, it's
But
they
what's your
have
counter
to
argument?
answer crime. Crime cannot be let going on, or else not answered for, because it would just be anarchy. Like, the
Okay.
police force would do its job regardless of whether these people pay or not. If they pay taxes, which they probably do through their employment, which they immediately deducted from their check. I mean,
In this instance, they're unemployed. In this instance, they choose to not
would
work even though
still-
they can.
being able to, so it's the difference between police and Medicare is that police have an obligation. The Medicare,
Why?
a lot
What's
of
the
places
obligation?
will even deny insurance.
What's the obligation?
Their obligation is to answer calls and stop crime.
Why?
Like,
Why do they
how
have
is
that obligation?
Because it's part of the job. You want me to like
Okay.
say, oh
It's
yeah,
healthcare.
police were
Okay, I
invented,
can just say
oh, this
I can just say healthcare has the obligation to save lives, and people in healthcare has the obligation to save lives because
I mean,
that's their
maybe-
job. What the fuck?
I mean, yeah,
That's
but
not
there's
an
also to
obligation.
make a profit. Like, the thing is,
That's why we
healthcare
should.
is not
That's why we should
completely-
have federalized free healthcare for all, so that these companies aren't making.
That's not
profit.
realistic. It would just decrease the. We have the number one. What's it called? We have probably top 5 when it comes to healthcare in the
No, we
world.
don't. No, we don't. What the fuck? No, we don't. Nor do countries
Probably.
do. Nor
Okay,
do
go
countries
ahead.
do.
But it
Finland,
does not
Sweden.
change the fact. Go to countries that have free healthcare. There's long, like Canada, for example. There's extremely long wait times just
How
for
long?
MRI scans, just for
How
any kind
long?
of scans.
The question.
It can take up to 8 months. It can take up to a year. You can ask
Okay.
people. I mean,
Take up 15 weeks. Okay, 15 weeks. Let me ask you a question.
that compared
Why?
to just
Hold
going
on,
in
hold
and
on, hold on,
walking
hold on,
in
hold
and
on,
then
hold on.
getting your tests and all that stuff, it may cost more, but it comes at the
Listen.
convenience of happening faster.
Listen. You made the claim that there's more wait times in Canada compared to the United States. I'm not disagreeing with you there. Can I give me 30 seconds, okay? And
Go
then
ahead.
I'll let you respond without interrupting you, because this is a really good point. The reason why that there's more longer wait times in Canada is because they have that free healthcare, meaning people can go get preventative healthcare. Now, yes, I think that the wait times are a bad thing. How do we do that? We incentivize to them to enter the workforce of being a surgeon or whatever healthcare professional they want to be by giving them grants, whatever, and that way we decrease it. But the difference here is Americans are also waiting. They're just not waiting in line because they cannot afford it. That's the difference. The Canadians are waiting in line and they are eventually getting their checkups. Americans aren't because they can't afford it. That is the difference between Canada and America. You can't deny
Realistically,
that. That's
they
a
can
good
only
thing that
just go
people.
into
It's a good
medical.
thing that there are long wait lines because that means that they're getting checked up.
I
Here,
mean,
they're not
it's
long
not a
wait
good thing
lines.
if they die in the meantime while waiting.
Yes, that's
I
why we
mean,
should. That's why Canada should offer grants for healthcare professions so that they incentivize jobs. Right? I'm not saying that the Canadian. I'm not saying
and
free
then
healthcare
the
in Canada
wages
is
will be
perfect.
lower, the
I never
taxes will
made
be
that claim.
higher. I mean, I never said you made that claim. I'm just saying it would make the whole process worse. I mean, yes, free healthcare is a nice idea, but it's not realistic to have a good healthcare system while also having free healthcare. Not only that, the amount of taxes that would be put on the average citizen. I mean, the middle class in the U.S. is already dying. It would just kill them even more.
Right.
Like
That's
at
why I
this,
support increasing taxes on the rich and then stop sending money to Israel.
I mean,
Stop
I agree
sending a
with both
billion
of
dollars.
those.
Stop spending $1 billion on a war in Iran, and then cutting the military budget from $1.5 trillion and cutting it, bringing it down to half a trillion. We
Let me
would
ask
still
you
be the
this.
strongest military in the
How
world.
much money do you think we spend? How much of the federal budget do you think we spend on social services and healthcare?
Yeah, most of it. That's good.
Yeah,
That's the point of the
most of
federal
it.
government
Yeah, that's
to
the
work for its citizens.
so.
But the point is here, they're not doing enough. We should cut the military budget, stop sending money to Israel, and tax the rich. And that is how we get free
I
healthcare.
mean, we're
And
like
then also,
basically the
and then what
world
else do we
police.
do?
There's a
What else
reason
do
why
we do
we have.
by increasing taxes? We incentivize people to go into the health profession or the healthcare professions by giving them grants, federal grants, so that they're able to go in, and
I
that's
mean,
why
there's
that way
plenty
we
of
reduce the
FAFSA.
amount of lines.
There's plenty of ways for people to get into college for those things that they can get in for free or off scholarship. I mean, it's not like it's
But
completely impossible.
the government should incentivize it more so that when we do have free healthcare,
I mean, they
there are not
basically
more long
already
wait
do
times,
incentivize all those scholarships and grants and
but
everything.
to a
Like you see it
greater
all the time,
extent.
especially
Yeah.
when you're in high school, especially when you're in any kind of form of education. They will go and tell you about these things, and you can even ask teachers about it, and they'll give you the resources to access these things. I mean, it's not like we just don't have them. It's just that we don't
No,
spend as
I'm
much
saying
money
at a
as we'd
greater
like.
I'm saying at a greater extent so that whenever we do implement free healthcare, we have more people in the healthcare profession. I'm just saying you're saying it's unrealistic. I'm saying it's not. We can definitely do free healthcare by taxing the rich, taxing big corporations, cutting the military budget, spending money to Israel, and stop spending money billions of dollars in endless wars. And then how do we address the problem that Canada is having by 15-week wait lines? Yeah, by giving more federal grants to a greater extent. That solves both of the solutions. Is it going to be 100% perfect? Absolutely not. But it's going to be better than what we have now. More lives will be saved. I'm
I
just saying.
personally disagree with that, but I mean that's to
Why?
each their
Go ahead,
own.
take it away. Why do you
I
disagree?
mean,
I won't
I don't
interrupt you.
think I mean, with all the reasons I gave you, I don't think it'll be better. I really don't. Maybe it might be
Can you repeat
like
the
better
reasons?
at
Maybe I
first for
forgot them.
people.
Repeat like two reasons why it wouldn't work
I
out.
mean, higher taxes basically to cover that. The fact that it would take longer would not be immediate, and this the simple fact that it would be less. It would be less. The quality would go down.
No, not necessarily.
I
Higher
mean,
taxes. Let me address that. Paying a couple bucks in taxes, more every year. That's fine. For every single person to have free. If Okay, let me ask you a question. If you had to pay like $50 every single year, and everyone had free healthcare, would you support that? Every single person in America
if it
would have
was
to pay
that
50.
cheap, yes, but it's
Cool,
not. It
cool.
wouldn't
Yeah,
be that
but
cheap.
we can I would support raising taxes on the average American if everyone has access to free healthcare. right? Just by a little bit. But how do you address that? Of the taxation, we increase taxes on again billionaires and big corporations that would revenue trillions of dollars, trillions. It could even solve the deficit, the $39 trillion deficit that we have. It could solve that if we tax billionaires and big corporations
Simple fact is
and
that's never
billionaires.
going to happen
Right.
as long as
But
lobbies
you're saying it would
exist.
never. Yes, you're saying it would never going to happen. As soon as we get a progressive in office, it will. The second point,
How would
something that I
that
talk
would not
about,
work?
something that I talk about on my live stream is taxing. We can do mass amnesty, tax undocumented immigrants, roughly 6 to 7%,
See,
for 7 years. That would
my issue
revenue
with
billions of
that
dollars.
idea
We have
is
so
that
many. We have so many ways to increase revenue to fund the free healthcare program. It's not unrealistic.
I mean, yeah, I mean, one of your options is literally very unrealistic. The thought of bringing in more illegals and then making them pay taxes, which I mean, yes, some of them already do, is the
The ones
fact
that
that
are already
is
here,
that
we don't bring them in.
the American infrastructure is not built up. We literally have a failing infrastructure in the U.S. and it's been like that for a while. We don't have enough services to house all these people, especially when millions are coming in. We accept almost 1 million legal immigrants per year.
But I'm
We
saying
don't
the
need
ones
to
that
be
are already
accepting
in here.
anymore.
I'm
I
not saying
mean,
I'm not saying we have to accept more. I'm saying the ones
they
that are already
already pay
here.
taxes. They have a tin. They
Yes,
have all that stuff. They already
yes,
pay
but I'm
taxes. They're
saying no. I'm saying
legal
no.
immigrants.
I'm saying the ones that are here undocumented that they already contribute. We make them U.S. citizens. We're not quote unquote importing more illegal immigrants. We make them U.S. citizens and we make them pay higher taxes for 7 years.
I mean, the fact they're here illegally is an issue to begin with. They didn't go through the proper port of entry.
But
I
it
mean,
would revenue
I don't
billion.
think
It would
we should
revenue billion.
reward.
It would revenue billions of dollars.
It doesn't
It's
matter
not
if they would get
unrealistic.
free,
None of
but
this
it's
is
just
unrealistic.
you're
It's unrealistic
basically.
because you say it's unrealistic. That's
I
why.
said it was unrealistic in the beginning for a lot of reasons, and for a lot of the reasons you're bringing up, still don't think it would be possible simply because of the way the government works and how they have their own little club up there, both the left and the
That's why
right,
you vote them out.
Democrats and Republicans.
Yes.
How
Vote
can you
yes.
vote?
Please
The thing
open
is,
your eyes.
you're
Vote them
not.
out. Vote them out. Vote all of them out.
That's not going to
Midterms are
happen until we get younger candidates. That's the simple fact.
Midterms are
There's
happening, and
people.
we're getting younger candidates, and the midterms are happening. I'm sorry, you need to keep up with your local elections. We're
I
already getting
really,
younger candidates. Zoran Mamdani,
yeah.
Abdul, fuck, the
Maybe
one
more
running
people
in
who actually
Minnesota.
came from lower like statuses of life. Zoran Mamdani is not like some average American. He's
But
really not. His parents are rich. I
he
mean,
is a progressive. That's the point. We need to aggress progressives, and we
and
we
we'll
need to
see
get
how he
out the
does in New
establishment
York, and then we
dams.
can decide on that. I mean, I am
I'm just
all
saying,
for
can you
local
agree?
elections.
Can you agree that if we elect progressives, we can have free healthcare that is decent?
I mean, I don't necessarily because the Democrat Party / progressives are not all in one. They're not. They don't. They may stand as a team when it comes to certain things, but they are definitely not for the. They definitely don't support each other the way you think. I mean, the fact that they basically rigged it against Bernie, they basically rigged it against anyone who would have won against Kamala. Just goes to show how corrupt they are. I mean, it happens on both sides,
The
but at least the
establishment dam.
Republicans
The
had a
establishment.
primary.
What you're confusing here is the establishment dam rigged it against Bernie. I don't like
I
the
mean, yeah, they
establishment. I don't.
did.
But the question was, if we have progressives in office, do you think it's achievable?
It may be, but I mean, I just don't think there's enough of
So then
progressives that
advocate.
aren't corrupt. And the same thing goes for
So then
Republicans. I don't
advocate
think
for
either side.
progressives who aren't corrupt. Advocate for
That's why I advocate
progressives.
for people who aren't career politicians who have been in office
No,
doing
no, no,
nothing.
no,
They've been in
no,
a seat of power. I mean,
no,
I have
no.
nothing against progressives. I just
Listen,
don't think that there's any that are good
listen.
enough
How
cases for
about
that.
one thing we can we'll end on one thing we can agree on: keeping big money out of politics. No corporate PAC money. No APAC.
I
Nothing. No
think
big
I
money
think
in
it's
politics.
I think most
Do you agree with that?
Americans I think most Americans in general agree with that.
Yeah.
Like I don't think
Good.
there's you can go and ask anybody on the street and no one's gonna say, yeah, I like lobbies, I like APAC, I like
Some
all
people do
these
like
foreign
APAC.
governments.
I've had conversations with some people
Those
that
are
do
like
like APAC.
probably some parts of the extreme parts of the
Far
population, but
left and
they're
far right.
in the
Yeah.
minority. Yeah, most people
Let me
do
ask you a
not agree
favor.
with things.
I'm gonna ask you a favor. Come the midterms. Listen, we disagreed on a couple things, but come the midterms, just vote for someone who wants to keep big money out of politics, whether it be a Republican or Democrat, because there are Republicans that want to keep big money out of politics. Okay.
I mean, I do agree on that.
Is
But
that
that's much
something we
harder
can make a
than
deal on? Well, how about we make a deal? We both vote for candidates who are gonna keep corporate PAC money out of politics. Yes, is that a deal we can make?
if one of those do exist in my area, then yeah, I agree. But I mean, to be
It's a good
fair,
start.
I think our government is so full of people who only care about themselves first, and the
It's
fact that we
draining.
can't even get term limits on in Senate or the Congress
We
or anything is a
should.
big issue. Yeah, the thing is, we can't. We're gonna have
But
to
Trump
wait like
also just
10,
cares about
15
himself.
years.
He's tripled his net worth on the last 2
Can you
years.
connect that to his presidency? Can you connect? Because he was already a billionaire. Can you connect the amount of wealth
But not to the
increase?
extent, not to
I
the
mean,
extent that he wasn't. It didn't increase as much while he was not in office
I
prior
mean,
to
also
2016.
the economy was worse in 2016. So like
The
his
economy is worse
assets
now.
gained
What?
value. It's I would not say it's worse now during the pandemic.
No,
Like yes,
2016 was
oil
not
prices
pandemic. 2016 was not pandemic.
post.
2019,
You know what I'm
2020.
saying. Ever
Yeah.
since then, I
No, I'm
mean,
saying
the
prior to
economy.
him being in office, like 10 years ago when he was not in office, we weren't seeing him enrich himself at the level he was now. But the point is here, we agreed on one thing. We agreed on one thing, and I want to end it there. We both agree we should keep money out of politics. You said we made a
Yeah.
deal. We would both vote for people who would keep money out of politics. I think we found that one common ground, which is a good thing to end on. I think you said it would be achievable if we vote for progressives. If you like a progressive candidate who you think is not corrupt, vote for them, okay? Take care, Chris. I appreciate you coming up
Yeah.
here and having a dialogue with me.
All right. Peace.
Peace out, Chris.